Hey guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI.
Episode 11, guys.
I knew you were going to start like that because we always start with episode 6,
and then
episode 7, episode 8.
And if we don't scream, you're not listening to the right podcast. It's not TMI.
It's not us.
Welcome, guys. Thank you so much again for always supporting our work. Episode 10 was amazing. I know. We loved that.
I know. We really enjoyed that conversation.
There's one topic which I feel we have not gone into.
Yeah, we know what it is.
We're always talking about relationship and sex.
Yeah.
But we decided to do something different
because
this
we're also
time
upstanding members of society.
We are. We do other things, by the way. We do other things. But yeah, if you're not following us on social media, it's TMI Podcast KE, on Spotify, on all the other podcast platform. It's the Messy In Between podcast, YouTube TMI Podcast KE.
Yeah, exactly. Please do not continue watching this video right now if you're watching on YouTube without subscribing.
Subscribe.
It's an insult to
Yes,
us. Please
on all other
subscribe.
pages.
Yeah,
also
everywhere.
subscribe. Please,
follow
we
us.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to be talking about something which I guess we're passionate about. As much as we do like to have fun, we like to work hard as well. And that's just part of life. You've got to work hard. So today we're talking about things we wish we knew before we started working.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And before we do that, we're just going to tell you guys a little bit of a background as far as our career trajectory.
Yeah.
Would you like to go first, Mrs. Murugi
I can
Munyi?
go first, yeah.
Also, Mrs. Murugi.
I know, that's my name.
Mrs. Murugi Munyi.
I've been married for years, but I still just like feel warm inside every time I hear it.
Oh,
So fantastic.
yay.
Yeah. So by working here, we're not talking about like those two small jobs your parents give you when like you're at home or just like wash the car, I'll give you 200. We mean like actual money.
That you're taxed on. Should we say that?
Well, I mean, some
That's
people
like
don't pay
full
tax. Some people don't pay
You
tax.
should. The one
They
which you
should.
should be getting taxed on. That's
Okay.
like an actual proper job.
So do you pay income tax for your influencer income?
Of course you have to.
Not withholding tax, income tax. Yeah, exactly. I thought so. Anyway, so I started working officially when I was in university. So I think I was about maybe 2021.
Yeah.
That was when I got my first job. But my first job was actually self-employment. So I was in uni at the time. I was in USIU actually. And I needed a bit of extra money because I had my son, obviously, that I was supporting. My parents were also supporting me, but I just wanted more money. So I taught myself how to sew online. And then I also found a lady who was around the area where I was living, which was near USIU. She taught me how to sew. And I started making money from that.
I think that's so amazing.
Which was really great.
Yeah.
It used to be such good money. I would make like 30,000-40,000 in a month. For a university student, that's a lot.
A billionaire.
A billionaire,
She
right?
was buying people.
Balling, drinks on me, only water. So that was my first job. Then I went to university in South Africa. And while I was there, I think around 24 years old is when I got my next job. I was like a receptionist at a backpackers. So both of those were like odd jobs. They were not like it wasn't like real work. It was just like I need to make money to make ends meet.
Yeah.
But when I came back to Kenya after I had finished my degree in Cape Town, I got my first job. I was like a communications assistant in a tobacco company. And that was like my first experience with corporate.
Yeah.
So I was, I think, 24. I was 24.
Yeah.
That was my first corporate experience. I did that for a couple of years. After that, I went into agency and I worked for an agency. I was a PR account manager. So my whole career was basically in PR and marketing, PR, communications, marketing. After that, I went and worked for a betting company. I was head of communications, went and worked for an online pharmacy company, which a lot of you guys know. I was head of marketing. And then after that, I quit and became a social media influencer / content creator.
Yeah.
So but by the time I was quitting my job, now I had already started content creation, but it was not like as big as it is right now.
Yeah.
And then I just grew it, and now it's been 3 years of me being a content creator. So here we are now.
Yeah, I feel
Why
like
is your phone not on silent?
Oh my goodness, sorry.
Why is your phone not on
My
silent?
hairdresser is asking for my appointment. We need this. We need this.
Please,
honey.
yeah,
We
okay,
need
okay.
this.
Accepted. Answer.
Accepted.
Yeah.
So the same thing. I think I've gone like I've been working since I was 16 years old. When I was 16 abroad, in England, sorry, that's when you finish high school.
Yeah.
So most responsible people start working at 16. So I started.
While you're in university?
No. At 16. So you finish high school at 16, and between 16 and 18, you do college or sixth form for like 2 years, and then you start uni at 18.
Okay.
That's like the normal way of doing things, but other people do it differently. So I got a job at 16 at this it was a communications company, 118 24/7. That was before we had like, you know, like Google
mobile
the
phone.
number.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so people would call in and they would ask for, you know, can you give me a pizza number near me?
Yes.
There was no like Google to check or whatever.
I
know, it's so interesting. So I did that for a while. In between all of these jobs, before like a proper job was like being in a call center. I also worked in the hotel industry. I worked at this hotel called Thistle in Bristol, and that was like a summer job, and it was like the most intense job I ever had.
A summer job.
Yeah,
wow.
it was.
How romantic. It just sounds
not
so cool.
at all.
Okay, it sounds
all I did
cool.
was eat profiteroles. Like I gained so much weight.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, amazing. But yeah, anyway, when I finished my master's at 23, I had been doing my master's, like I was going in for 2 days and then still working at this other call center, and I was working there for like a year and a half because it was so flexible, so I was able to do my master's and do the job. And then once I finished my master's, I got a job. Now I guess like my serious in your career job, and I was working for this mortgage enforcement. I was working for a law firm in Bristol, but in the mortgage enforcement department.
I didn't know this about her.
Oh, you didn't know?
I mean, I didn't know those specifics.
Yeah, I did that, and I was one of the office assistants, and we would do like case studies. We would do like case stuff, like people whose house are getting mortgaged, and you know, it's like it was our job to actually like get them out. Yeah, it's horrible.
Cutthroat. Can you do that, Lydia? I know you're so emotional.
But you know, it's like because I was assisting the person who had to do like the worst of the work. You know, then afterwards I was actually promoted to the case handler, which was like pretty intense, but I loved the promotion. That felt so amazing to me. I was like, oh my god, my life is made. Wow, amazing. Then,
and how old were you at that time?
Then I was 23. The entire time I was working there I was 23. And then I decided I wanted to come to Kenya to do law school now, so that I can qualify to be an actual lawyer. So I got here when I was 24, and I completely changed my life.
You can tell.
Yeah, so I was supposed to start law school. I got here in 2016 January. I was supposed to start law school now, like to do like the conversion to be able to start law school the next year. I was gonna go in Riara, and before I started, I had like 5 months to myself. I was like, okay, I've moved all the way here, and I'm like, why am I gonna do the job which I know is a secondary? So I was like, I tried to figure out what I wanted to do. And then for a while, I was like, you know, just like doing commercial modeling. By the way, I did ads while I was trying to get a job on TV, which is what I wanted to do. And then eventually I did. You even
I forgot.
TV. You forgot your TV job.
I also was a TV presenter at some point, which is the job we did together, which is how we met.
Yes. So I did the TV job for 2.5 years. I quit last year in October. I've been doing content creation since then.
Yes.
So we've been working forever.
Exactly. From the beginning of time, we have been working. But what I love about our experience that we both have corporate experience, and we have also like freelancer, I would say freelancer experience, because like self-employment, exactly, which is where we are now. So a lot of the points we're going to be sharing are going to be applicable, I guess, some of them in maybe specific in either freelancing or corporate, but many of them also will be able to like be both, right?
Yeah, I've separated mine a bit to like content creation, which ones are like more specific to like content creation, because it's like a different league. But we're gonna share them.
Exactly. And we hope you enjoy, guys. And if you're enjoying, make sure you're subscribed.
Yes. And be telling us, especially if you're on Premier Gang, be talking to us and telling us what you thought you knew.
Exactly. Yeah. Please let us know. So the first thing that I thought should I go first? Sorry, I've just assumed.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you. The first thing I wish I knew before I started working is whatever your job description says, you're going to need to do more than that to get ahead.
Yeah.
And this is just like factual. Like you'll come in and you've been told you're an office assistant and this is what you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you want to set yourself apart, if you want to like move, you're gonna need to just do more. And the reality is that there's always those miscellaneous things that no one really is responsible for. And like once in a while you can just be the one who's just like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And I think people noticed that. And I realized the more I grew in my career, the more I was just like, okay, so people appreciate when you go above and beyond what is required of you, and instead just do what is not required. And it's like, wow, okay, she she's extra.
Yeah, I agree with that. A caveat to that, as you would say.
Yeah, a caveat.
To that. However, to that is one of the ways that companies make billions every year is by exploiting work. So they'll tell you this is what your job description is, but a lot of the times people are doing way above that. There's actually someone who had DM'd me. They were just like, it's so beyond their job description that it's giving them burnout, and because they're not getting paid that money is too much. So the caveat is that go beyond, but don't get exploited.
Exactly. Actually, maybe I would say even the things that you're going beyond on that don't need to be things like directly don't need to be the things you're directly responsible for. So like, for example, let me give you an example. When I was working at the tobacco company, I was in this one department where we were doing legal affairs and corporate. But like, for example, they were like, oh, we want volunteers to help us plan the Christmas party. I wanted to be there because I'm like, just myself as Murugi, I like planning parties and I like being part of that. I used to MC a lot of the events, you know, which at the time I didn't even realize that it would help eventually. Yeah, exactly. But like, I would volunteer to do things that, so it's not actually like my actual work, but it's like beyond my actual work. You understand?
And I feel whether or not people like it, you end up socializing with so many people. You become an asset in the company in a different way than just that job.
Absolutely.
Look at you. You are practicing.
I was practicing. And I remember then thinking, oh, I'm so scared, but this is so exciting. This is so nice. Wow.
Yeah. And that's how you kind of find out what you actually love doing.
I love it.
Yeah, I love this. So this one, my first one is confidence. Please speak up about your ideas. And this is something which I learned when I was working at the law firm. There would be all these meetings about, how do you think we can do this better? There was the way the system was running, and you would get all these questions about, should you do this? Should you do that? What can we improve on? And especially when I first started, I felt this, I'm new, why on earth would I even open my mouth?
And who wants to hear what I have to say?
Yes, and there was one time somebody gave the idea which I had in my head. And they were praised. I mean, they became like wow, look at this person, and that marked the last time I kept my mouth quiet about my ideas. And then from then, that's how I was able to like grow and even be able to be promoted. And that was in like in a space of like a year and a half. So if you have ideas, just speak up. Just speak up. Because I promise you, what you have to add is probably something so unique.
Humility doesn't get you that far in corporate, especially like even in content creation.
You
right?
gotta be super
anywhere
confident.
you have to like, the only person who can speak up most about yourself is you. Like, it's nice when other people, but sometimes when other people do it, but like sometimes it has to be you to just be like, you know what, I'm actually great at that. I would love to be able to do that. Or like, this is how we can change things. I love that. For sure. Absolutely. The next one thing I wish I knew before I started working is that yes, the corporate world really is a whorehouse. It really is. It really is a whorehouse. I know I used to hear a lot of things about like, hey, everybody's just sleeping with each other in corporate and not just corporate, but like a lot of like work I don't know, work groups or something like that. Yeah. And like before that, I always used to be like, no, I'm sure that's not actually happening. But I realized that a lot of people actually meet their life partners or their sex partners.
Like you met
You're right. I did actually meet my work partner. I was like, I even forgot. I'm like, who? Who did I meet?
Yeah, your face was like, Lydia, you're talking.
No, yeah, but I did meet my husband actually at the first corporate place that I worked. But yeah, actually, because you spend so much time at work, it's like, I mean, you obviously just like socialize a lot with the people who are there, which if you're like single and just like ready to mingle is a great thing. If you're married, can be a bit tricky. It can be a bit tricky. But like, I mean, I actually read an article that was saying literally everybody who you meet is trying to sleep with you. And I was like, And the article went on to explain that like a lot of people are attracted to you sexually before even they start hearing you speak and something like that. But in the corporate world, girl,
it's a lot. First of all, I had a little at work for sure. And it was fun because I was single. It was like really good. It did end up with too much. Like it ended up being too much because that's what you have to work.
That's at your corporate job.
No. It was like when I was working like in the odd job at call center. But then still it was like, especially if you are like, there's friction, you have to see him. It can be a bit wild. Also, let me tell you some tea about like a place where I worked.
Give it to
So
us, sis.
we had one of the managers who was dating another manager, right? And they had this beautiful family, like really cute kids, whatever.
Yeah. Dating or married?
They were married.
Okay.
They actually had they were dating for so long.
Okay.
And then they got married while we were there. Beautiful. Pans out.
Oh God.
Pans out.
Yeah.
That he had an affair with somebody who was working in my team, and they had a baby.
Why that ended on a very, very, oh no.
I know.
Did she leave him?
She was yeah, for sure.
Oh,
like, a baby is like
it's a solidification of the betrayal.
It becomes too much. And the girl is like, tagging him like the father of my child on Facebook. It wasn't like she was feeling like it was a secret. It was like we did this together.
And they were all still working at the same.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Really bad. But it happened like after I left, but I got the tea.
Yeah. But so office drama can really be a lot. Like
I think you should try your best to draw a line. If you do feel attracted to someone, that's normal, but know that the actions that you're gonna do there could really affect your whole life.
And where possible, at least try and like do it according to the rules. Like if you need to disclose to HR, disclose to HR.
Yeah. Because you might get fired for it.
Yeah.
They're allowed to fire you for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. All right. Yeah. So based on what me and Joe just told you, this is my other one. You're never stuck. You can have plenty of careers. If like look at us. When we feel like, you know what, this doesn't feel like it's the thing that's really setting my soul on fire. We didn't feel like, you know, I have to stay like this. I started, you studied this, you know, it'll be a waste of education. We just got up and we decided to do something different, do something that we love. And I feel like we both don't regret it.
Absolutely. It's been the best decision ever. However, we recognize that we are speaking from a point of privilege, right? We are speaking from a point of privilege because you knew that even if you came out and you didn't get a contract for 3 to 6 months, you would be comfortable. You would not die. You would not die. Exactly. You would not be on the streets. I always tell people that if you are in a work situation that you feel really uncomfortable with or something, try and make as many plans as you can to leave. Exactly. Make a plan. Find something else. Especially in COVID like season, jobs are really hard to come by. People are struggling for money. I saw an article in the papers the other day about like almost 1 million people have lost their jobs or have lost employment since COVID started.
No one is hiring.
No one is hiring. Exactly. So before you quit your job because it makes you unhappy, just make a plan first. Know how you'll survive at least the first 3 to 6 months after you've left the job, and then you can leave. But I agree with you. You're never stuck. You're stuck if you now sit in that situation, just be like, I may hate my job, but every day you're not doing anything.
The mentality,
absolutely.
You are not stuck. I promise you.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. Okay, my next one. One thing I wish I knew before I entered corporate, actually before I started working, because this applies to content creation as well, that being good at interacting with people is just as important as being good at your job.
Fact. People
skills is like the number one thing. There are people who literally do not advance in their career, even though they're amazing at their jobs, because they just don't know how to interact with people. You have to realize that everything gets done by people. Like literally, the person who is hiring you is a person. Just the same way you're a person. The person who is responsible for promoting you is a person. And being able to like talk to people, understand, communicate, empathize, help people, like be able to ask for help even yourself, that really goes a long way. Like people
100%.
We learned that also from Nani. What's his name?
Dale.
If you've not read what's it called?
How to make friends and
influence people. Amazing book. But that has taught me a lot how far you can get in life just by being able to speak properly. You even find you'll go to an interview and someone else is more qualified than you. But because you're so friendly, you smile, you're able to interact well with the interviewer, the smiling, right? You find that you get the job and maybe they don't get the job just because of their inability to interact positively with the other person.
100%. Whether you like it or not, people want to work with people who they like.
Yes.
It's not about anything else. Just the feeling of like, I'm going to come to work and see this person every day.
Oh, yeah.
They just simply, that's just how it works. I know, especially in the media industry, the content creation industry, because we are creatives, a lot of the times I feel like professionalism is really lacking. It can be really lacking.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things which sets you apart, because I know a lot of the jobs, especially I got from acting, were from like I really liked working with her. That's it. Yes, I'll work hard just like everybody else. I don't think I'm the most talented, or it's not about any of that.
To me, you are, babe.
Thank you, babe.
You are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But people remembered me because they felt like I was professional and I was a good person to work with.
Yeah.
keep those
that
people
is
to those
exactly
team.
honest.
Yeah.
Actually, people will refer you because you are so nice to work
That's
with.
it.
They won't remember,
Yeah.
oh, that one was a great
The
actress, but she was a
better-
bitch.
Yeah,
Exactly,
nope,
kind of thing.
they won't.
But now that you mentioned, we talk about this point of interacting with people.
Yeah.
The one thing I really miss about actually working somewhere is having like colleagues.
Yeah,
it's
like just know you're
like
going
you're going
every
somewhere
day,
exactly, and
how
you
are
have
they
this person
doing?
is
There's a
talking to. This is the
party.
closest we get to it. This now we have Doris,
Yeah,
we have Dan,
SEMA
we love you guys.
Box,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is like because you don't have like every day. Literally, you're home creating content by yourself.
That's
My workmates are my kids.
Yeah, there's something, there's a sense of community that
Yeah,
you get from corporate.
Oh yeah, that you just
probably-
yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
But we love
there's
it.
plus, but
We love
there's-
it.
Yeah. Okay, my other one is there's nothing like a useless job. Now, here's the thing, yeah. When you
Ooh,
hate
wow,
your job,
yeah.
when it doesn't feel like it's in your career path, when it feels like, what am I doing here? There's nothing like a useless job. Let me give you an example. Technically, my first ever job was one of my best friends, Brianna Haybury. Her godparents had a pub like a barish, whatever, in England, and they wanted people to help out a bit around, right? So it was me, and because I was always around them, they said that I can come along too. And I was there, and I can't remember much about the job.
Yeah.
Remember, I ate a lot. All these jobs.
That
all
seems
I do
to
is
be
eat.
the common denominator here is Lydia
You
eating.
know?
Yeah.
I know, but I remember what it taught me is like I used to watch how the manager used to work with people.
Yeah.
The way she used to speak to the people who are like, just like anyone. She was so respectful. You would never know the difference between her as a manager and the employees.
Yeah.
And I learned that every single person in the
I love
job
that.
wants to feel like they're important as well. So
Yeah.
even if your job feels like it's nothing, there's something you are learning. Maybe you're learning perseverance.
Yeah.
Maybe you're learning how to keep
Strength.
time.
Exactly. You're learning strength. You're learning those skills you can take home to your man when he's pissing you off. Yeah.
Patience and knowing that sometimes like you're gonna have to grind and work hard and do things that you don't want.
Yeah.
Even the jobs that we love, we do things that we don't like.
Yeah.
So there's character development.
Ooh, yeah.
in
The
a
real
lot-
kind. The real kind. Yes.
In the job that seems pointless.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like a useless
I
job.
absolutely love that. And I feel like if you're in a position where you feel like, why am I here doing this?
Yeah.
Try as much as possible to get as much. Yeah. Just try and get anything that at least that time will not be wasted because you're there anyway.
You're
like
there
you're already there. So
Yeah.
like, why not just get something? I love that
true.
point. I love that point. My next one. One thing that I wish I knew before I started working is that it's a lot easier to do a job you actually like, and that the goal is to find the intersection between what you like doing, what you're good at, and what you can get paid for.
Yeah.
Which ultimately, I'm happy that content creation and doing this is I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
I think, right?
You are
Yeah,
great.
thank
You
you.
are great.
Yes, and I get
Yeah.
paid to do it, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's fantastic. So if you're looking for a career path, maybe if you're like trying to think about what is it that I actually enjoy doing, start with what is it that you want a career in. Start with what do you like doing.
Yeah.
And right now, I feel like the way the world has opened up with globalization and everything, you can literally make a career out of anything.
Anything.
Guys, anything. Me, when my son comes and tells me I want to be a YouTuber, of course I tell him, you know what, you can do it. You can become a YouTuber if
true.
you'd like. If you want to be a footballer, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's like you can actually make a living out of the thing that you love
Yeah.
if you're good enough at it.
Yeah.
And if people are willing to pay for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. And especially when it comes to people, not everyone knows what they want to do, right? The way I felt when I came back, and I was like, okay, I do love law, and I was great at law. It's something that just came naturally. But what made me good at law was because I was a good communicator.
That's it.
Yeah. So I started thinking about, okay, what do I like doing? I like talking to people. I like communicating with people. So then I thought it was HR that I wanted to do.
Seriously?
Yeah. it was like, it was
a
calming.
journey.
It was
Yeah,
a journey.
yeah.
And then I was like, okay, HR. But then I was just like, I like really more talking more than anything.
Yeah.
Then I started thinking about the people who I admire. From when I was small, people kept being like, okay, Oprah. And you
wow.
don't remember.
Yeah.
You don't remember those little things when you were younger and why people were saying that.
Yeah.
And I came to this. So when you look back, think about the things that you were really good at when you were young,
Yeah.
or the things that people just pointed out special in
Even
you.
if it's just a talent, like a particular talent, it doesn't have to be a whole field.
Yes, just something, and you will see.
You'll actually end up in this place. Actually, sometimes I ask myself, even if I started being a content creator at 18, right now, I'd be
But
Kim
guess
Kardashian,
what?
man.
The way,
Yeah.
the discipline maybe and the way you've molded yourself because
Yeah,
of the
would
job
be
that
different.
you did would be different.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. I started out, I went and studied international relations, and I don't even know I did that. I think
yeah?
at that time it was just like, I mean, I had an interest in it,
And
and
it
I was like,
sounds
I'm
great.
good. Exactly. And
sounds
it sounds nice, but I hadn't really like thought long term, what do I want to do? And then after I studied, I did my master's, then I came back. I was like, okay, I guess I can go and work for an NGO or whatever.
Yeah.
But I realized that in those NGO places, like you have to start at like internship, unpaid internship, or like something which is like really low. And I was like, no, I have a son. I need to, find something else. And that job in communications found me. And that's when I was just like, wow, I really liked communicate.
Yeah.
And then my trajectory went from doing communications to PR to marketing to eventually this, what
And
we are
guess
doing right
what?
now.
Look at how all of those things,
I know.
communication, PR, marketing, are
Are literally, those are the ones,
which are,
exactly.
let me tell you, the
Fantastic.
journey,
The journey.
It
Trust
always
the
has a
journey.
purpose. It
Trust
always
the
has
journey.
a purpose.
Yeah.
So the other one is, don't get comfortable. The monthly check feels so good, but you forget that there's always more. These people who started a job like, okay, let me start this job. They constantly complain about it, and they're just comfortable. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with being comfortable when something is great.
Yeah.
Please. I want to be comfortable in
We
being
all
a
want to be
millionaire,
comfortable.
please.
Yep.
But when you're comfortable in a place where there is no growth, you are not actually getting out of life the things that you want. For example, in that call center that I was working before I went now to work for TLT in Bristol, the law firm, so many people were there like, oh, let me just do this odd job for a bit.
Yeah.
And then just
because that's what a call center job sounds like.
Yeah, it's just like, let me just do this for a bit.
Yeah.
But so many people were there for like 6, 7, 10, 15 years. Just from a place of, just like, I'm here
At
now.
least I have something at the end of the month. Yeah.
And you're just doing the bare minimum. You're just going from, it's like paycheck to paycheck. Just live, just like slightly living. And you just get so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So don't forget that just because you and your colleagues are all doing the same thing, that there's not more out there. You can always get more. Don't get too comfortable with that check, sweetie.
Yeah, and actually I feel like one of the things I used to do when I was in corporate is like you give yourself check marks. Like every 3 months you look back and be like, okay, how have I grown?
Yes.
What are the opportunities that I have missed or that I have taken? Or every 6 months, or like, okay, you tell yourself after 2 years, I don't want to be in this same position. I want to do this. I want to be here.
Yeah.
And having those conversations with your boss, if you have a boss, or even if you're self-employed, being able to tell yourself that in 6 months I want to be here. And if you don't get there, what am I doing wrong? Or what can I improve?
Yes, what can we change?
I absolutely
I can give an example on that. As far as my content creation. So there's two things with content. There's the being able to create content that matters or that people care about. That's one, right? Then there's another side. There's the other side, which is about business. It's about marketing. It's about how well you're branding yourself, So a lot of the times it's not like, oh, do you know what? This doesn't work. It's, okay, I can see this part is working, but how else can I do this other part? So growth is not always that the whole thing is horrible. Yeah. It just might be one little thing which you need to improve on to then put you up to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So the standards are different. I mean, is it standards or is it the what, like the benchmark, I guess, for the different ones is different.
Because, they're all different.
You might not have this one, but here you can see you've already improved this one. You've been more consistent with your content. You've done this, you've done this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm learning so much today, guys. Even though we have been working for long.
I know.
Me too.
Loving it.
Jeez. Okay. The next one is one thing I wish I knew. God. Painful. Is that when you are in corporate and even in content creation, you do a million good things. No one will remember. Do one bad thing. Get drunk at one Christmas party. Sleep with one boss. Sleep with one boss. Okay? Put a wrong picture in your PowerPoint presentation. That is the only thing people are going to remember. And forever now you will be Lydia, the chick who got drunk at the Christmas party. Remember Lydia, the chick who got... Yeah. So in whatever field you're in, the world just works like that. That is content creation. That is law. That is accounting. That is whatever. It's like the world judges people harshly when they make mistakes. Yeah. So you just have to be really careful in terms of like how you act, how you behave in your industry. And especially if you're in a particular company and you have to work with those same people. Yeah. I remember when I was working at the agency, there was a guy who sent a picture of his limp dick to the whole company WhatsApp group.
Not limp.
Limp.
Not
It was
limp.
a Saturday morning.
Not
It was limp.
Not even that. Who are you sending a limp
I know.
one to?
Honestly, she doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve it. And he deleted it like 5 minutes afterwards. But it was like, I don't think anyone has ever forgotten. I don't think anyone has ever gotten over it. Like me, every time I just think about it, I'm just like, you know that TikTok for like, ooh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm just like, yeah. So I mean, there's room for mistakes, especially in relationships, but in the workplace, sometimes you'll be judged harshly. That's all I'm saying. You will be judged harshly.
For sure, especially in corporate.
Yeah,
I feel like content creation, because especially what the content we create is about our lives.
Yeah, so we can't really make
a mistake.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay, she did that. Oh, oops. But yeah, in corporate, because especially you're working for someone else and all of these things, yeah, it can get intense. But have you ever done anything that?
Sorry. What? Sorry?
Have you ever done
what? Doris, is the mic working? I'm not hearing Lydia properly. Anyway, in content creation, speaking of content creation, let me give you a Chrissy Teigen. I love Chrissy Teigen so much.
My God, yeah,
but yeah, I remember recently she was like blasted on social media because some past tweets of her being, was it racist?
Yeah,
it was like just be unkind. She used to bully people. Yeah. And I love the fact that she came out and she apologized about it and everything. I think people have forgiven her, or at least her fans have forgiven her.
Yeah, I've definitely forgiven her.
Yeah, even me. I was just like, at least the fact that she came out and she said she was sorry and she's making amends, in her life, and she recognizes it was an issue. It was probably a trauma response, whatever. And she came and she said sorry. But like in content creation, even worse, because people have screenshots of everything.
Cancelled. You're
You're cancelled.
Yeah,
Calm down.
24/7.
Exactly, right?
So yeah,
I've been cancelled like 30 times.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you. Here you are. All right. So this is another one. I think this is for media content creators. Know your value. Whereas in corporate, how much you're getting paid, to some extent, is like you're not going to get paid, I don't know, 2 million working for this kind of firm. Everything is measured based on how much a company is bringing, and the industry and what all these other benchmarks that are like industry wide. Whereas in content creation, you could literally just devalue yourself and get paid significantly less than you actually deserve. I remember me and Joe one time were talking about rate cards, right? And she had told me, she's like, with content creation, you have to kind of determine what your value is. Yeah. Because no one is willing to tell you. Yes. No one's gonna tell you, oh no, you're charging 30,000. No.
Except your friend.
Let me give you 50. Let me give you 50 because people are going to take they want to give you the least amount
and
for your
get the most value.
Yeah. So then when you've got to start assessing your value based on how well are you doing what you're doing, how well are you creating impactful influence on people, and know your value and put that on your rate card.
Yes, exactly. I get this question so often and I just never know how to respond to it because I'm just like about like, how can I create a rate card? Where can I get my rates from and stuff? And I'm just like, you just kind of just have to just like,
yeah. Mantalk said, if you feel like you're charging too little, you are.
Yeah,
if there's a feeling, I don't know how to explain it. Actually, there's a time like, okay, wait.
But you see, at the beginning, you don't really know. You might not know.
And that's okay to not know. That's part of the journey.
Yeah. Can I also say about this thing of knowing your value? It actually applies also in the corporate world. And I was reading I've been reading a lot of articles. This is what I do at night when I should be sleeping so I can be fresh in the morning for the gym. But instead, I'm reading articles. Yeah. Anyway, so this article was talking about how women generally around the world are paid a lot less because they tend to not negotiate enough. Yeah. And I saw this in action. I hope my husband doesn't mind me sharing this, but like when he was taking his current job, so they had taken a while to reach out to him. He had done an interview like 3 months prior. So eventually when they reached out, they're like, okay, so this is what we are offering and what. And he was just like, no, that offer is too low for me. And as he was sending the email, I'm like, but babe, but they already want us. Can't we just, let's just take it. Already it's just like, let's just take and he was just like, no, me, I know my worth and I'm not going to move, just start new work, do all that work and I'm not getting, then he's like, no. And he wrote back and they were like, okay, fine. So yeah, let's renegotiate. And they sent another offer. And he was still like, no, that's not what I asked for. And I was panicking. It was like 2 weeks of panic.
Literally, I can't even
breathe. Me, I was just like, no, but babe, this is like your dream job. And it's like, oh my God, we should just like, he's like, no, if it's a dream job and they know that I'm the best person for the job, they'll come. And eventually they did come. But I was just like, I realized, I know, me too. Every day I would wake up like, have they called us? Have they called? And he was just like chilled about everything and stuff. And it's because he knew his value. And I feel like, especially for women, don't sell yourself short. You would rather give up that opportunity. Okay, of course, sometimes you'll just take because it's like maybe you really need the money or like it's a good name to be associated with. But please know your value, because especially in content creation world, once you charge that less, you know, the industry people talk and they'll know that, okay, this person only charges 5,000 for a post or something. And then it'll be hard for you to increase that amount. So please maintain what you know your content or your value is worth in corporate, in content creation, in media, in accounting, in law, anything, wherever.
And let me tell you, saying no to that job that is making you feel like, no, you don't feel right. I always say this, the job which you're working that you love, but you're not getting paid the money that you deserve, you're still going to feel crap about it, right? Not to go into too much detail, but I had, when you're new to anything, you always just like, I'll take anything. I'll take anything. Just give me the first thing and great. And slowly, the better you become at the job, because you entered with this begging energy, it becomes almost impossible to start saying, excuse me, I need more, because they're like, we are the ones who brought you up here, and now you're stuck with that desperate energy. So as much as you want to move forward, as much as you want to do more, do not be taking this anything that comes just to work.
Absolutely. Was that my point or that was yours?
What was know your value?
Was that me? It was you.
Yeah, it was
okay.
Me.
I think it was you. Okay, fine. I think I might be going to my last one. My next one is stifling. I think you talked about this earlier, so this one's a very brief point. But stifling what makes you won't get you very far when you're in corporate or in content creation or whatever field you're in. Being you is what sets you apart. If there's one thing that sells, it's authenticity. It's being yourself. Like, the reason those people hired you is because you are you. They didn't want somebody to come in and now just be like everyone else. So go in there and bring your difference. Bring your own thing. Like, do whatever it is that makes you different. Of course, like within limits and within boundaries, right? But be like, stand out, show the things that you can do that only you uniquely can do.
And I'm going to highlight this for the strong women. We're trying to move away from that idea, because I don't know who said
why
because you're loud
strong
and whatever. But one of the things that you feel, especially in corporate, is that you are not trying to intimidate the women who are above you, who for whatever reason feel like now you're going to take their job, and you're also not trying to get the men to now feel like, okay, who does she think she's going to come and run the place? But there's a place for being assertive. It might not come and it might not be appreciated by everyone at that time, but that's one of the things that you should definitely hold on as a woman in content creation, in corporate, whatever. Women who are like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get. They never are going to be in a situation where it's the worst. You're too successful.
Exactly. Worst case scenario, you're too rich. You're too rich.
And no one likes you, whatever, As we said, because there's people, you've got to have people skills. There's a balance, but definitely keep that assertive energy about you. I promise you, it's going to take you further than hold you back.
Exactly, than humility, because humility is not taking us anywhere. So you can be assertive, but I would say tactfully assertive. Obviously don't burst into your boss's office and be like, I don't like what you're doing here. Calm down. Know your place.
Please,
also place.
Relax.
And just you be assertive, but like tactfully.
100%.
Absolutely.
There's one which I had mentioned, but I think we've touched on it as well. Is just because you love the subject in school doesn't mean you're going to love the everyday tasks.
I wrote that as well. Key, something to do with that.
Key, because when I started working at mortgage enforcement, there's like many variants of law, but that's where I started, because you start here, you learn this skill, you just experiment, right? But the day to day of many things that you study in school are boring and horrible, So when you study a subject in school, if you can, before you enter the workplace, because this is what we are saying, things we wish we knew before we got our first job. So you who maybe you don't have your first job yet, you have this break. Try and go into any environment, even if you're working for free, even you're just going to shadow someone to see what the everyday thing of that job entails, because Lord.
Absolutely agree with that. Actually, that's what happened to me. All through like high school, all through growing up, see how they used to call you Oprah? Me, everyone used to say like, you're so argumentative. You'd make a good lawyer. You'd make a good lawyer. You'd make a good lawyer.
What made me think of doing...
we've been twins from the beginning,
Forever.
before we even met. So they would always say that to me. I was just like, I know I'm gonna study law because I know that's something that I could be good at. And I was just like, I'm gonna become a judge and what. Then in high school, before now you go and now start picking your like year 12, year 13 subjects, which is like Form 5, Form 6. They were like, okay, go and do work study. So work study, you go and pick like a place of the career that you want to do. So obviously I went to a law firm. The most boring week of my life. I was like, this is not like Suits. This is not Suits at all. Like every day was just papers and documents and filing this and typing, and the office was just like a dark place. We just had. I was like, nope. And I thanked God. I thanked God that day that I had gone there, because if I had not, I would have been dying.
My experience was I went to watch a court case of a family family law, and family law is like people's family, like children who are like divorced, like things are
messy.
Rough.
It's the messy in between for sure.
Yes, family law, children law, all of that. So I went and watched a case in court. And I was like, I can't do this. First of all, the first encounter from one of the witnesses, I was like, I'm down. I'm out. This is way too emotional. So I started thinking about corporate or something. I would rather be working in papers and companies and money than dilly-dallying with people's lives. I was
and
like,
that's
that would
just
be
so
too
emotional.
much.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's good to get some experience in the field you want to go into, and then figure it out. And as we said, if you don't like it and you're already there and you've already studied it, you can always change.
A lot more people. Actually, that should be in the curriculum, CBC or whatever. It needs to be in the curriculum that people have to actually go and sit and actually
and experiment what they're going
test out.
Into,
I think we should end it there.
I think so. But you know what? This has been a fantastic conversation.
I loved it.
Working, and also, by the way, we forgot. Work hard.
Work hard, man.
You have to put in the work. There is nothing that you're going to get just like that, unless you're doing it in other ways. But that's not what we're condoning. We are condoning working for what you have, because you want to have the best position. But
absolutely,
enjoy your job, and we've loved this conversation
so much.
And tell us what you think, especially if you're watching on YouTube.
We would love to hear. And if you're on a podcast platform, feel free to message us on Instagram. We still want to hear what you guys think. I wish on podcast platforms there was commenting.
We could comment as well. I wish as well.
Oh yeah, I wish. I was just about to be like, you can. But yeah, we love you guys. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation. Let's move on. So guys, today we don't have a fun shout out because we literally shot the episode yesterday. So the episode is not yet out. So we cannot even fun shout out. But what we thought to do is just go through our DMs and probably help one of you who is struggling with a dilemma. So this is like a mini TMI talk, right? Or just like an actual TMI talk, because is there anything mini with us? No. We are extra about everything. So we got this message and it's from a guy. We love to think that we have guy audiences as well. We appreciate
comment
you.
More.
Exactly. Actually, guys are more like the silent followers. Like they wouldn't let you know that they are there, but we appreciate you. So he said, hey guys, I'm a fan. I need some help. How do you deal with it if you're starting to fall for your best friend and she's a girl? I don't know how to tell if she feels the same way and I'm afraid of messing it up. Sometimes I feel like I should go for it. Then at one point, I'm like, keep it cool. I just don't want to screw things up.
Well, first of all, we appreciate your fears, because especially with girls, once a girl like has been holding you as like a best friend guy, once you look at her that way, or once you take it there to let her know, things can really change. Like for a lot of girls,
so?
Yeah, for a lot of girls, like they were just like, oh, the one guy whose intentions are pure, the one guy who's not trying to be with me in that way. Now, like things might be a bit funny, but the only way to know is to know.
Yeah.
Right?
So you think you should just tell her?
This is what I think I would start using some questions, some leading questions.
Yeah.
For example, Derek Jackson, who we do not believe in anymore, but we still believe in some of the things that he did say.
Yeah.
He was just like, one of the ways that you can always know what somebody thinks is their opinion about a scenario. Right? For example, if you are watching TV with your boyfriend or your man or whatever, and somebody's getting beaten up, if the guy's reaction is just like, hey, listen to how she was talking to him. Now,
red flag.
Red flag. You don't always have to know. So if you you can give scenarios. You can even tell him like, oh, one of my friends, they've been best friends, so and now he's feeling her. Hey, I feel like you should definitely go for her.
Yeah.
If she's like, no, if a guy is my
That's
friend,
just like,
done.
yeah, then
you
you
will know
know.
without having to ruin the friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But try not to make it as direct so that it's not so obvious. I personally feel like if a guy like who has been my friend tells me that he's attracted to me or whatever, or is feeling me, I don't feel like it would change things. Like probably maybe for like a couple of months might need to like have a bit of distance. But after that I feel like it would be okay, because what I always think to myself is that I am such an attractive person. It just makes it's not their fault. It just makes sense for them to be attracted to me,
Yeah.
But the problem is that now if they push it further, when I've already told you,
No.
listen, I'm not interested in that. Then now if you make it awkward, then it'll be awkward. But I wouldn't make it awkward.
I
kind
actually,
of thing,
even
right?
me, I wouldn't flinch if somebody told me.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I would just be like, oh yeah, thanks. Like, I appreciate you being honest. And I know that probably took a lot of courage, but I don't see you that way. And I would like us to remain as friends if that's comfortable with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad. But a lot of, first of all, we are grown as well.
Yeah.
We
So
get it.
if it's someone younger, it might.
If someone's young, even him, I think
And
he
the
sounds
worst
like
thing,
he's young.
the worst thing could be like he tells her and then she's like, yuck,
Yeah.
yuck,
Ew.
I would
You're
never.
my brother.
Oh,
I know. So possibilities are endless. I would
Endless,
suggest
I
that,
know.
Sending some signals by way of scenarios or, like
yeah.
that.
Or
trying
saying
to
small,
get it.
small things and just seeing how she reacts, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Or like
Yeah.
maybe, can he touch?
No, I don't think you should touch.
Like if you guys ordinarily touch each other, maybe
Fine.
maybe just
bring
like one
comfort.
time, just like hold exactly, or do like a romantic thing and just see how she responds to it or reacts to it. I guess.
Yeah, but if you don't want to lose, like, which it sounds like you don't, do the touch and go thing. But the question is, if she doesn't feel the same way, does it still stay as a platonic relationship? Because it's gonna be rough.
It'll be rough. I know. It's gotta be the Red Sea. It's gotta be. Yeah. But I feel like you'll get over it. Think about how many people you've been attracted to who you're no longer attracted to, even after it didn't work out. It's just like you just kind of get over it.
But I don't know anyone who's rejected me.
Oh yeah, that's painful. Ooh, you've not been rejected?
No.
Hey, wow. I've only been rejected once in my life, and the day I get over it, even though it was 10 years ago, that's when I'll tell you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope we have helped you solve your issue. Guys, if you have any more advice for this young gentleman, please leave it in the comments below or DM us on Instagram. Or if you're listening on the podcast platforms, again, DM us on Instagram because you can't comment here. But yeah, thank you. Guys, so for today, for It's Messed Up, we have decided to play a bit more of like a physically challenging. I don't even call it physically challenging. I've decided because like the other time we're just always talking. Sometimes you don't want to talk, you just want to work with your hands. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know exactly. So this is our challenge, guys. We each have 10 cups, and all we have to do is stack them up and put them back down twice. That's it.
That's the game.
Have I made myself clear?
You have.
I have made myself clear. So now, assuming like now I've finished stacking these up, I just put them back down. Oh God. I'm trying to be as careful as humanly possible. Like that. And then after you do that, then now you stack them up again.
Yes.
All right?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Yeah?
Are you ready? You seem so nervous. Relax. It's just some cups.
Let me too.
Cups.
She's a beast. This one. This one.
And because now I have short nails, so I'm ready. Okay.
Easy does it, babe.
Let me tell you, is this on? I just want
to have your own mic first.
This is a ploy by my enemies to embarrass me on TV, and I will not stand for this. I don't even know who brought this silly game, and I'm a 31-year-old woman with 3 children, and this is unacceptable. In fact, I'm walking off the set.
This was her idea. She was sure she was going to win because she's so competitive. Easy does it. Since we're talking about work, sometimes you're supposed to just do things slowly.
Okay,
Not always
queen of cups.
not
Right.
always aggression.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. It's
But
because
you know what? I love you
Lydia
anyway.
just got her nails done today, so she's feeling like this kind of
feeling
superwoman.
myself.
And like I just anyway. Fine.
Anyway.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyway.
Congrats to me, no?
I mean, whatever.
I'll clap for myself.
Good. Done.
Thanks so much.
We are tired.
Thank you, my fans over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we are friends again, guys.
Love
we are
you.
friends. Yeah,
Kisses.
I love you too. Mwah. We are all winners in Christ.
We are. We really are.
Thank you.
So on today's TMI Moments, now this is the segment where we'll ask a question on our Instagram page. That is TMI Podcast KE. And we will be reading some of your responses. It's most likely going to be related to the topic we're talking about. So this week, we asked you guys, what do you wish you knew before you started working?
Yeah.
That was the topic of today's
TMI moment.
episode. So we are going to read some of your comments. And funny enough, we did read through, and there are many ones which are like the same as what we said.
Yeah.
We're trying to read the ones which are like different.
Different from what we said.
Yes. So this is the one which I Joe. This is the one which stood out for me. How to contradict the boss without offending them.
Oh,
That's
wow.
one of the things they wish that they knew.
Yes, that is what we mean when we say you can be assertive but tactfully.
For sure.
Like especially if the ultimate goal is to get your way or to get, the thing that you want done.
Yeah.
The way to go is not to yell at them or make them feel stupid or make them feel like you know more than them.
Yes.
The way to go is to be respectful but also like slide in your idea.
Yes, because guess what? Especially with something that you're responsible for,
Yeah.
when it goes wrong, it's on you. So
Exactly.
sometimes you can't actually avoid telling your boss,
Yeah.
this is not going to work. Sometimes you
Absolutely.
have to. You should read the book, How to
Win friends and influence people.
That
It
might
has
help.
changed our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another one. Your workmates are not your friends.
What? That seems a little
know.
harsh. I mean, a little. Okay, yeah, but I get where they're coming from, because ultimately you have to realize everyone is there because they need money,
Yep.
they need a job, they need a place to go every morning, and they need to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So you have to know at the end of the day, when it comes to it, if they have to choose between them and you,
Yeah.
they are choosing themselves, because everyone is out for their own selfish benefit at the workplace.
100%.
So friendship can be there, but remember that it should not be the primary thing.
Yes.
They are your colleague first, your
Yeah.
friend second.
And also, if you guys are in the same line, like, the same level,
Yeah.
chances are someone's going to get promoted.
Yes,
And
then what will
at the
happen?
top, the things are there are not as many people, so you can't all go there.
Together,
So
yeah.
sooner or later, you're going to do that. And I remember there was one of my friends who, when I got promoted in the law firm, it wasn't that smooth.
Oh,
There was
yeah?
just energy.
Yeah, and then you start being like,
'Cause
okay, why did she get promoted?
I know,
feel like
and it can be that way. So yeah, to be honest, you have to curb that.
Yeah.
This another one that they I wish they knew that they needed me, but they didn't want me. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Sounds like a moral relationship issue.
No, listen to this. This is actually my mom who sent me this.
Yeah.
Hi, mom. Sorry, exposing
wow.
you.
Okay.
Anyway, this is about race. And actually, guys, I didn't
Oh,
point
wow.
out that I
Okay.
did work in a majority of the time I worked in England. There were race things that you weren't really aware. So they needed
Oh,
my
wow.
mom. She meant,
Yeah.
but they didn't want her there. It's just like it was just
Oh my
unfortunate that they happened to need her and she was black.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
very specific.
Yes.
So they're just trying to meet some kind of quota. It's like also when they hire people just because they are women,
It's
even
true.
though, and then
It's
so
like-
then you're just like a poster child for
Yes.
women in the company,
Yeah.
even though they don't really want you
in
there.
our department, then we were like something like 200 people, and there was only 2 black people.
Wow, how
not
did that
even
feel?
one black man.
How did that feel?
How did that feel? I was used to it because when I
Yeah.
went there, I was in like the top classes, and usually it was like 1 or 2 black people, and everyone else was white.
Everyone else, yeah.
So
Oh
I was
my
kind
God.
of used to it. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
one. If
yeah.
you're in a situation where you're working for a place where you are an ethnic minority. All right, here's another one. The monotony is real.
The monotony.
The monotony.
What is
No, it
monotony?
The monotony
okay,
is real.
Yeah,
when
it
you
can
when you
be,
start
yeah.
thinking about getting a job, you don't ever think that you're gonna get to a place where you're just like, oh my God, this
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
You're really excited
Another
about your
day,
first job.
another day. And by the way, I think that's in every single like career path that you choose. Because even with content creation,
Sometimes,
there are some days I'm just like, there's those day-to-day things, the reports and like the what and the very boring things that have to do with content creation. Not everything is just like being in front of the camera. So yeah, monotony definitely is real, but like you move. Hopefully it's easier to manage if it's something you actually enjoy doing.
Yeah, for sure. Now this another one.
Last one.
Last one, that I should save, and save. Here's the thing. I feel like COVID
too.
has taught us that today you're here, tomorrow you're nowhere
You're
to
gone.
be found, and you have all the bills. You have your rent, you have your CG, you're living where, and you are relying on this job. So put your money aside, because that job you're relying on, another one was
could
like,
be
you're
gone.
replaceable.
You're replaceable. Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're replaceable.
I'm actually, my husband and I are always talking about this. It's like, you will die tomorrow. They'll send your family a condolence message, and the next day they'll have hired somebody else because they still need somebody to do that job.
Yes.
So never think that you're the only one who can do it. You're probably the only one who can do it the way you do it, but there's someone else who can also do that job. Okay,
Yes,
so never sacrifice the things which are most important to you for your job. That's what I would say. Absolutely.
Health, mental health, all that, family, still have a life, for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, all of these ones were intense and bad.
I know.
Working is great.
Working is fun.
Something good.
For the young guys following us, please, guys, working is nice. Working, especially if you're doing something you love, something that you feel passionate about, something that you feel is impactful, then it can really, really be a good thing, right?
It can be absolutely amazing.
Amazing, guys. So thank you so much for sending these to us. Please keep sending the rest of them to us on our Instagram at TMI Podcast KE, or comment below if you're watching on YouTube, TMI Podcast KE. Follow us on our podcast platforms, which is Spotify and Apple and all the rest. You'll find them in the link in our bio. I know people hate it when people say link in bio, but the link is actually, in fact, in the bio, guys. And remember to subscribe and tap the notification bell, so every Wednesday, 12 p.m., when we release our video, you are the first to watch it. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you, and we're going to see you in the next episode. We love you, guys. Bye. I don't know why Dad is waving at us. Bye.